All right, so welcome everyone to Services Australia's Paid Parental Leave Employer Seminar. We're really grateful that you could take the time out of your busy schedules to join today, so thank you. My name is Emma and I will be your presenter during today's session. Luckily or unluckily for you, we'll find out. So before we begin today, Services Australia and myself would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands we live on. We pay our respects to all elders past, present and emerging of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander nations. I'm joining you from Naarm or Melbourne, the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung and Bunurong peoples of the Kulin Nation. Now, just a few housekeeping items before we get started. To ensure we minimise background noise and distractions, may I just ask that you keep your microphones muted and cameras off throughout the session. Apologies, you are stuck with my face only. We encourage you to ask questions. Please type your questions into the chat box throughout the webinar. We'll address as many as we can over the chat during the session and at the Q&A segment at its conclusion. To start with, feel free to type into the chat box what you're hoping to learn or take out of today. Finally, this webinar is being recorded. If you miss any part of it or would like to revisit the content later, we'll have a link to the recording on our website. Today we will be covering an overview of the Paid Parental Leave scheme, your obligations under the scheme, some paid parental leave myths, how to get started, and we'll provide an overview of Proda and Business Hub. Just quickly, this webinar provides general guidance on the paid parental leave scheme for employers. The content is accurate as of today, the 25th of June 2026. That is so scary to say, and can change over time in line with changes to legislation and policy. Due to privacy constraints, we are unable to address specific questions about your business or staff during this webinar. If you do have such questions, a help desk number is provided at the end of this presentation. So, we'll kick off today with a quick overview of what the Paid Parental Leave scheme actually is and what your role as an employer is within the scheme. I also note that all of this info is available on the Services Australia website. The Paid Parental Leave scheme commenced on the 1st of January 2011 and it provides financial support for eligible parents, allowing them to take time off work to care for their newborn or recently adopted child. In the 2024 to 25 financial year, approximately 252,000 claimants received a parental leave pay payment under the Paid Parental Leave scheme, 99,000 of whom were paid by their employer, and $3.2 billion in payments were made to claimants. Parental leave pay is taxable and is paid at the rate of the national minimum wage, which is currently $948.10 per week. Now, whilst parental leave pay benefits your employees, as their employer, it'll also help you. You'll be able to retain valuable and skilled staff by encouraging them to stay connected with their workplace when they become parents. It'll increase long-term workforce participation for new parents and enhance a family-friendly workplace without you having to fund the parental leave. Services Australia will give you the funds to pass on to your eligible employees, and you won't be required to pay out of your own funds. This is super important to note and can avoid many complications down the track. So I'll just reiterate, you won't be required to pay out of your own funds. In terms of eligibility, we'll only ask you to deliver parental leave pay to employees who meet all of the following. They're expecting to take at least 8 weeks of parental leave pay in a block made up of consecutive weekdays, Monday to Friday, with no breaks. That block is within a year of their child's birth or entry into care. They've been working with you for at least 12 months. They're expecting to return to your employment after their leave ends. They meet our required work, income and residency tests, but that is, Services Australia has determined that they're eligible for the payment. You don't have to work that out as their employer. The length of time a family can receive parental leave pay depends on when their child came into their care. For a child born or adopted from the 1st of July 2025, parents can get up to 24 weeks of pay. From the 1st of July this year, so 2026 onwards, parents can claim up to 26 weeks. With the birth mother or adoptive parent's approval, any parent can claim parental leave pay. They can work before or after any periods of parental leave pay. They can use it on days they're not working, including weekdays, weekends, holidays, or any time that they're on leave from work. Parents can share their days and can currently take up to 20 days at the same time. These are available as part of the maximum number of days of parental leave pay available to families. They can get parental leave pay as any of the following: a single block, multiple smaller blocks, single days, a combination of smaller blocks, and single days. It's up to your employee to apply for parental leave pay through us and work out their leave arrangements with you. We'll contact you if you need to provide parental leave pay to your employee, and we really reiterate here that you only need to pay them if they meet the conditions I went through on the last slide, and that we will provide you with the funds to pay your employees. So, what is your role in this? If we decide you must provide parental leave pay to an employee, you must do all of the following. Provide the parental leave pay to your employee in line with their usual pay cycle. Withhold tax from parental leave pay under the usual pay-as-you-go withholding arrangements. Give your employee a record of parental leave pay within 1 working day of when you pay them. Include parental leave pay in the total amounts on your employee's annual or part-year payment summary. We also need you to do all of the following. Keep a record of what you've paid for. Check the funds delivered into your bank account matches with the amounts in the payment advice we send you. Keep a record of how much you've paid your employee and return any unpaid funds to us. You should tell us if your employee stops being employed by you while you're providing parental leave pay or works on a day that they get parental leave pay. And just because we can, another reminder that you are not responsible for funding parental leave pay or working out if your employee is eligible. Now, onto my favourite slide. There are some myths about the paid parental leave scheme for employers that we'd like to take the opportunity to debunk. As we've already said, you don't need to fund it, nor do you need to work out if your employee is eligible. You also don't need to provide parental leave pay to your employee before you've got funds from us, make extra superannuation contributions, accrue extra leave for employees, create a new bank account, report to us regularly, and separately identify parental leave pay in your annual financial statements. With regards to superannuation, you may have seen that there are new laws that will provide superannuation contributions for the Australian Government Paid Parental Leave Scheme. This has come into effect for children born on or after 1 July 2025. Services Australia is currently working with the ATO to implement these changes. The ATO will make the super contributions for parental leave pay from July 2026, and employers will not be required to calculate or make these contributions. More information is available on the Services Australia and ATO websites. All right, so to get started, the first thing we'd recommend is downloading the Employer Toolkit available on our website. This is a complete guide to the paid parental leave scheme and what you need to do. We'll put a link to the toolkit into the seminar chat now. Thanks, Michael. The easiest way to register for the paid parental leave scheme is online. You can do this by registering for Provider Digital Access or PRODA and then our Business Hub online services. Your employee can lodge their claim for parental leave pay as early as 3 months before the expected date of birth or adoption of their child, and we encourage them to have a conversation with you to discuss their leave arrangements and their intention to claim parental leave pay. Once you register, we'll send you an online letter confirming your registration to provide parental leave pay. If we decide you must provide an employee's parental leave pay, we'll send you a letter to let you know. Once the baby arrives, your employee is required to provide Services Australia with a proof of birth to complete their claim for parental leave pay. After they do, we'll confirm with you the claim details and tell you the date we will send you the first payment. So let's take you through what this registration process on PRODA and Business Hub looks like. To access services in Business Hub, you must first register for PRODA. PRODA is an online authentication system based on a username, password, and verification code login. Access PRODA via our website, then select PRODA from the online account drop-down menu. Select Login to PRODA and click Register Now and follow the steps to verify your identity. Once you register for PRODA and create a PRODA account, we'll give you a registration authority number or RA number, and you use it to connect to Business Hub. I make a note here that to register a business in PRODA, you must be an associate or authorised person listed on the business's Australian Business Register or ABR record. This person is responsible for registering the business using their individual PRODA account. When you register, the details you enter into PRODA must exactly match what is recorded on the ABR. You can access the ABR using the MyID app to verify your ABR details. If your business has an existing PRODA registration, you won't need to re-register. You'll just need to apply for the paid parental leave service in Business Hub. To register the organisation, you'll need to enter the following details. the name of the organisation, the ABN, organisation contact email address. As I mentioned before, your individual Proda account name must match the associate or authorised contact name for the organisation on the ABR. If they don't match, you won't be able to go to the next step. Hit submit and follow the next steps to register your business. After you hit submit, you'll receive a confirmation email that includes the registration authority number unique to your business. You can give this to the Proda Help Desk if you need support. Once your business shows on the My Organisation screen in Proda, you can link the registered business to Business Hub. After you follow the steps to do so, select the Services tab of Proda and go to Business Hub. Hit Apply for a service and select Paid Parental Leave. Follow the instructions to begin your application. We won't take you through screen by screen right now, but we'll just highlight some of the important details you'll need to provide on Business Hub. So this is what your screen should look like at the beginning of the Business Hub process. Once you've confirmed your ABR details, you'll firstly need to provide your business's physical and postal addresses. Don't stress if these details don't match the ABR. We just use them to contact your business for paid parental leave scheme purposes. You'll then need to opt in to provide parental leave pay. Tell us which categories of employees you would like to provide the payments to and what is the total number of employees for your business. Next is your payment destination where you add your organization's bank account details. You must have at least one payment destination for the business. We'll pay parental leave pay for your eligible employees into this account. This is your business bank account, not your employee's bank account. Here, you'll also select the pay cycle frequency for the payment destination and the frequency of payments from Services Australia. Finally, you'll be able to assign other staff members to roles such as Access Manager or Authorised Officer if you wish. Add their RA number and contact details. Now you just need to submit the declaration and you've successfully applied for paid parental leave services in Business Hub. I know that was a lot to digest, so once again, I will shout out to our Holy Text, the Employer Toolkit and website where you'll find much more info on how to do that whole process. There's not a test at the end of today, I promise. We don't expect you to remember all of this. So several enhancements have been made to this landing page to make it easier to navigate and complete PPL related tasks. Letters and tasks have been added to this page to allow you to see actions you need to complete in the one location. If you have multiple organisation accounts and services, you only need to go to one place to view letters and tasks for all your organisations. You'll also see important notifications and news items on this page. Once you've applied for PPL services, click the Paid Parental Leave Services tile under your services to take you to the page to manage your claimants. Okay, so now that you've successfully registered and applied to administer parental leave pay, we'll take you through what services are available to you on Business Hub. So there are 4 services accessible from the paid parental leave tile, and the tiles you'll see depend on the access roles you've been assigned. For the purposes of today's presentation, we'll discuss all 4 and your screen would look like this. The first tile allows you to provide parental leave pay for new claimants. After you register for the first time, you will need to go to this tile first. Here you can accept to pay parental leave pay for your employee once we've decided that they should be paid. You can also request a review of our decision by declining the employer determination. This may be because you don't know the claimant or believe them to be ineligible. Just make sure that you've got supporting evidence that you can upload if that is the case. The next file allows you to manage parental leave pay for existing claimants. This screen will show claimants you are currently providing parental leave pay to. If an employee stops working with you for any reason, you must tell us of this change in circumstance here. Next up is the Paid Parental Leave Scheme Reports tile, which displays payment advice reports that Services Australia has sent to your organisation. These reports contain details of each payment you receive for your employees, as well as the period of time the payments relate to. Last but not least is the Upload Requested Documents tile, which, as the very inspiring name goes, allows you to upload documents in response to a request from us. This is done through our secure online document lodgement service. In these scenarios, we will notify your organisation via email advising that you need to upload a document. Okay, so now that we've looked at the services available in Business Hub, we'll show you where you can manage your organization details. There are 4 management tiles accessible from the organization menu, and the tiles you'll see depend on the access roles you've been assigned. We'll briefly discuss those options available. The first tile allows you to add or remove personnel in Business Hub, and you can assign roles to these personnel to determine what services they can use on behalf of your organization. All personnel must have their own individual Proda account and are added using their individual registration authority number. The second tile allows you to update your organization's details, such as business name or postal address. The third tile shows your existing payment destinations for the business. You can edit these details, including business bank account details, pay cycle frequency, and frequency of payment from Services Australia, or add a new payment destination if required. The fourth tile allows you to opt in to provide parental leave pay to additional employee categories. Under the Paid Parental Leave Act, you're required to pay parental leave pay to your eligible long-term employees, but if you decide that you'd like to provide it to other employees, you can choose here to provide the payments to an additional group of eligible staff members, regardless of how long they've been working for you. Once again, I know this is a lot of information to take in such a short amount of time, so thank you for being here. But the most important things for employers who are new to the scheme are access the ABR to get the details you need to register for Proda. The details entered on Proda must exactly match the ABR. Set up your Proda account and register for Business Hub. This can be done in preparation for participating in the scheme. Update your business bank account details and other relevant business details in Business Hub, and only pay parental leave pay to your employees after you've received the funds from Services Australia. Check the amounts received matches the pay advice on Business Hub. So we have a number of support options to help you along the way when you actually get into our online services. Business Hub has a virtual assistant, and there's also a Pro to Help desk for any difficulties you have whilst registering. Their contact details are displayed here, and these services are available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. AEST, Monday to Friday. Finally, we've got a more general help desk you can contact if you experience any technical difficulties using paid parental leave services. Their contact number is also on the screen, and their help desk is available from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. And then, of course, shouting out one last time to the magical Employer Toolkit and the Services Australia website. Finally, there is an employer fact sheet that includes information about what you can do as an employer to prepare, including a prepayment checklist. All of these resources can be found on the Services Australia website, and we will paste a link in the chat. So that brings us to the end of today's presentation. Were there any questions?
Emma, I can answer. We have a question in the chat from
Thanks,
Alice.
Hells.
Alice, yes, a Proto account is only for people who are based in Australia. So I'm not sure if you can come off mute, and it might be something you might want to contact our help desk to discuss that further. So if you needed to, you could always come through to the Paid Parental Leave help desk, the 131158, and have that discussion a little bit further, because they can give you a little bit more information to help if you have got Australian-based people within your business. And there was one more as well.
Yep.
So if the employer provides the 18 weeks of fully paid maternity leave, can the employer receive the government paid parental leave during the same period, or should it be taken separately? They can receive it at the same time. And that was the 2 questions.
Thanks so much, Hells. Were there any more? Cool. I will take that silence as a no. Thank you again so much all for joining today. We do really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of your Thursday. Thank you.